So it came in pair or it was single?
One only.
It came in one only. Yeah.
He told to take two, but
We don't need to.
said something overrate. Why I need two earpods? So one I have taken. Srinidhi, define vector.
So vector, vector is a physical quantity.
Uh,
It contains both magnitude and direction and obeys a vector property.
Shabash. Right of. Huh? You didn't understand. What is your name here? I thought. Dharani. You? Shivaraj. Kritika. So yesterday we have seen one very important property. What is that? Vector addition. So what's up next? Once vector addition completed, what is that? Vector subtraction. You don't want, huh? Vector subtraction. So in this session, how to subtract the two vectors we are going to see. Let us see the general subtraction. What is 3 minus 2 equal to? 3 minus 2 equal to 1. But in the this is a scalar addition. There is scalar subtraction. Here addition also subtraction, subtraction also addition. How? How you can write the subtraction? 3 plus of minus 2 equal to also 1. Subtraction also is an addition. Addition of one vector and to its opposite vector is a subtraction. But when you are subtracting two vectors, there is no compulsion that it should be 1. May be equal or may not be equal. It can be anything. 3 minus 2 need not to be equal to 1 here. Okay. Now, very immediately we'll see what is the subtraction. Now I decided to subtract b vector from a. Shall I write a vector minus b vector equal to a vector plus of minus b vector? Yes or no? Yesterday I have taken two vectors. What is the name of the vector? This is a vector or plus a vector. And what is this name of the vector? Very good. Plus b vector or simply b vector. What is the angle between them? Theta or alpha. Online students wants to say hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. I don't need to introduce how to add these two vectors. Yesterday we discussed in detail. Now today during the subtraction, we have to subtract, or you have to add what? A with minus B. This is plus B means what is the minus B? This is the minus B. Now tell me what is the angle between A vector and minus B vector?
180 minus theta.
Shabash, 180 minus theta.
So
Here we have to apply the, as usually, parallelogram law, vector addition. So the minus B vector, I will extend like this, and this thing I will extend like this. Here also I am going to use the parallelogram law of vector addition between A vector and minus B vector. If I draw on diagonal, what this term represent? Resultant means A vector minus B vector only, na? Yes or no? So I want to find the magnitude of the resultant vector. How to find the magnitude of the resultant vector? Tell me. This is what? A vector minus B vector. Shall I call it as also resultant vector? Now I am asking you, what is the magnitude of the resultant vector? Yesterday I introduced one. Very good. R equal to how much? Magnitude of the resultant vector equal to how much? Under root of A square plus, very good, B square plus how much? 2A B into cosine of theta. Understood? But in the place of theta, what I have to? Very good, 180 minus theta. So substitute that, do that. So what I can write?
here B vector is minus B vector.
So
that will be minus plus 2AB minus 2AB.
No. Magnitude only you have to consider. This is magnitude expression. No? In the place of the negative sign, I've taken 180 minus theta. So I mean consider negative sign also. A you don't need to put minus, or B you don't need to put any minus. I adjusted the negative, I compensated the negative sign in terms of angle. You don't need to do that. Clear? So what is the magnitude of the resultant vector or length of this vector? Under root of how much? Plus B square cosine 180 minus theta how much? Minus of cosine theta. Hereafter you have to remember this. 2AB cosine of theta, hereafter you have to remember this compulsory. This is the expression for what? Magnitude of the resultant of subtraction. Understand? Then what about direction? As I told many times, what is direction? Angle between the resultant vector and x-axis is called direction. Yesterday, this also we deduced one formula. I want to hear from your mouth. Tell me what a direction alpha equal to? Very good. Tan inverse of modulus of
B sin theta.
Very good. B sin of theta, right?
Upon A
Divided by
sin theta.
A plus B cosine of theta.
Here A minus B.
Yeah. In the place of theta, what you have to substitute? Not theta, 180 minus theta. Why? Because we are adding A and minus B. Understood? So theta value have to replace with 180 minus theta. So substitute what do you get? Alpha equal to how much here? Tan inverse of?
The sign is positive.
Yes, sine of 180 minus. Sir, you are muted. Okay. Sorry, friends. So some urgent call. What a T stood, what do you get? B into how much? Sin 180 minus theta value, how much here? Sin of theta and whole divided by how much? A plus cosine 180 minus theta, how much? A minus B and the cosine of theta. So this is the direction of the vector, I mean resultant of the A and minus B. What I have to pronounce? Resultant of A and minus B direction. Understood? So compulsory one should remember. And let us see some important applications of this vector subtraction. For example, here this is one circular orbit. What is this? One circular orbit or circular road. Is any circular? Is any circular? For suppose one particle is moved from position P to position Q, just like any vehicle or any car or something. Understood? So what will happen if you draw any tangential line? It is representing what here? Direction of the velocity, how much? V meters per second. The speed of the car will not change. Only direction will change. Understood? Once it reaches point Q, if you draw any tangential line, that is representing direction of the velocity, how many meters per second? V meters per second. And what is this angle? Let's say some angular displacement of the car. What is the theta? Anti-clockwise angular displacement of the car. Theta or d theta. Theta means large angle. D theta means what? Or delta theta means very smallest angle. Understood? The time taken for the car to travel from P to Q position, let's say it has taken delta t seconds. How many seconds? Delta t seconds. Now here I want to find the acceleration. Acceleration of the car. Tell me what is the acceleration of the car? You can define. Acceleration is nothing but how can you define? No, wrong. Change in velocity by change in time taken is defined as acceleration. Change in velocity means what? Final velocity of the car vector minus initial velocity vector divided by time taken. What is the final velocity vector here? V2 is like this only, na? Yes or no? This is V1 only, na? This is yes or no? This is a plus V1. But I want minus V1. Here minus V1 is there, plus V1 is there. Minus V1. So draw the minus V1. Construct one parallelogram of vector addition. So what is resultant velocity? How much?
V1 square.
This is only the direction of the acceleration, same as direction of the change in velocity only, na? This is the direction of change in velocity, dv vector. In fact, this is the direction of the acceleration. This is angle theta means definitely this angle also delta theta, no? If you have doubt, check it. Why? Because if the car is revolving in the circular orbit, if the car is here, velocity v, the car is here, velocity v, what is the angular displacement of the car here? 90 degree, na? Then angle between the two velocity vectors also 90 degree. Then if the angular displacement is delta theta means definitely angle between V1 and V2 also how much must and should be delta theta.
Yes, sir.
Now I am asking you what is the magnitude of the acceleration? I'm asking you what is the magnitude of the acceleration? Magnitude of the acceleration equal to magnitude of the change in velocity divided by change in time taken or magnitude of the change in time taken. Here one ready-made formula just now we have done. What is the magnitude of the change in velocity? Tell me. Under root of a square plus b square minus 2ab cosine of theta. So shall I substitute directly without wasting time? A square means what? V square plus v square minus 2v square and cosine of theta whole divided by how much? Time taken. Yes or no? So if you simplify this, what you will be getting? So the magnitude of the acceleration equal to how much? Under root of 2v square minus 2v square and the cosine of theta divided by change in time taken. So magnitude of the acceleration equal to how much? 2v square I can take common and 1 minus cosine of theta and whole divided by delta theta. You know one formula, cosine of 2 theta equal to how much? 1 minus 2 sine square theta. Then cosine theta, what I can write, friend? 1 minus 2 sine square theta by 2. Substitute nicely here. So what do you get? So the magnitude of the acceleration, how much? Under root of 2 square into what is the 1 minus cosine theta value? Directly 2 sine square theta by 2 I can write and divide by time taken. Understood? So if you simplify, what is the magnitude of the acceleration? Yeah, V I can take common. So you will get 2V into sine of theta by 2 divided by time taken. That is the magnitude of the acceleration. It is also called centripetal acceleration. Why I am calling centripetal acceleration? Tell me. To keep any vehicle in the circular trajectory, compulsory which force is required? Centripetal force is required. So that acceleration is called. Now, few more applications also, few more situations also can be discussed on the vector subtraction. Now, see what is the very important advantage of the vector subtraction. Easily now you will understand. For example, look here. One person is at point P. One person is at point P from the origin. This is the origin. And what is this? Y-axis. This is the x-axis. It is your task. This is your task. So listen carefully. From origin, this person is at a distance 5 kilometers and another person is standing at a Q position and this position is some 10 kilometers and angle between them is 60 degree. Then what is the shortest distance between P and Q? Concept you just now I have explained, you understood nicely, but here one situation. Okay, so show your application skills and find the distance between the P and Q. One hint also I will give. Take this as a vector and take this as a B vector. So then between P and Q, if you put any vector, whether that is A plus B vector A minus B vector or B minus A vector, that is you have to judge and you have to answer. With the casual max, you cannot do this now. 5 root 3. Jiva's answer is 5 root 3. Any supporter from offline or online?
Yes.
Same 5 root 3, huh? Okay, very good. So, first of all, I have to check. Definitely, this is not A vector plus B vector, my dear friend. This is not A vector plus B vector. Why? If you extend this A like this, if you extend A like this, and if you extend the B like this will be the diagonal is representing A vector plus B vector. Then, if I put any arrow like this, either from, for example, Q to P, I put one arrow. Here we have one dilemma. Sir, it is A vector minus B vector or B vector minus A. No, not same. How 2 and minus 2 both are same? You only said.
A square plus B square minus 2AB cosine theta.
Magnitude remaining same, but direction changes, na? For A vector minus B vector or B vector minus A vector, magnitude remains same. Then how to identify this P to Q? If you have doubt, check it. This is a vector. This is what? B vector, na? I want minus B, for example. This is a minus B only, na? Then definitely, if you use parallelogram law vector addition, this will be what? A vector minus B vector. Then reverse, if you are drawing mean, that is B vector minus A vector. So Q to P, if I put vector, that is B minus A na, A minus B na? Huh? B minus A, answer is finished.
Because
Minus B I have taken. This A vector minus B downhill came na. Then A vector minus B vector minus A vector mean uphill will come. That's all. Are you understanding the trick? Immediate checking only required. That's all. Clear? So what I have drawn that vector is from where to where? A minus B or B minus A? Very good. B minus A vector. Separation between the two positions is called shortest distance. Directly I can find now. What is the magnitude of the resultant vector formula under root of how much? A square plus B square minus you have to put 2AB cosine of theta. Substitute under root of how much? 5 square plus 10 square minus 2 into 5 into 10 into how much? Cosine of 60. So if you simplify, what do you get? 25 plus 100. 100 into, very good, 1 by 2. So this is 50, na? 100 minus 50 means 50. So under root of 75 means 5 root 5. 5 root 3 kilometers is your answer. With the casual max, you cannot fix up in your lifetime. Without vector, you just try and check. You will do, but very long process. It may take 1 day, 2 day also. Correct? Check it out on without vector. You set the clock and you try it. Are you understanding, friend? Okay. So I hope you understood realized also what is the advantage of the vector. Having one more you want, very good. Okay, students. So 5 minutes, one concept I will explain. So I will give that only just extension only. As I told you, this is what our frame of reference. Usually ground is called positive x-axis. What is this is called? Y-axis. And what is this? Origin. And this is one person is standing, one person or bus or something. Understood? This is nothing but what? Position vector of that person only, no? Yes or no? And another person is standing at point Q. Understood? This is another vector, what? R2 vector, position vector of the second person or second object. Just now I told one person, if you ask, you are asking Q person, where is P person? He will show his finger like this only, na? There he is like that. Then this is nothing but position of the P with respect to Q only. And I already told that is RP vector minus RQ vector only, na? Accepted or not accepted? Understood? So I can write one statement, position of the person P with respect to Q is equal to how much here? Position of the P vector minus how much? Position of the Q vector. Now I want a position of the Q with respect to P. How he will show? He will show his finger downhill like this. What is this is representing? Position of the Q with respect to P. What I can write? RQ vector minus RP vector. Relative equations of motion. What are these called? Relative equations of motion. Understood? So here what I can write? If you differentiate on both sides, so what I can write here? If these two people started moving, they have some velocity, na? Their position is changing with respect to time. Yes or no? So shall I differentiate on both sides? So I can write like this: change in position of the person P with respect to Q with respect to time equal to how much? Change. Differentiation means what? Change in position of the person P with respect to time minus change in position of the person Q with respect to change in time. What is change in position by change in time? Very good. Displacement by time, velocity. So I can write here velocity of the person P with respect to Q equal to how much? Very good. Velocity of the person minus velocity of the person Q. These are all are called here relative equations of motion. There is no rule that they have the same velocity. Their velocity may changes also, no? They are accelerating, correct or not? So what is acceleration? Change in velocity of the P with respect to Q with respect to time equal to how much? Change in velocity of the person P with respect to change in time minus change in velocity of the person Q with respect to change in time. What is change in velocity by change in time equal to? Very good. Acceleration of the person P with respect to person Q equal to how much? Acceleration of the person P with respect to ground. Nothing is there means with respect to ground minus acceleration of the person Q. Is my point clear? Now, based on this, one simple problem I will give, you have to answer it. Are you ready? Now, what is the question here? Same, this is the frame of reference x-axis and y-axis. Always persons are boring, so two aeroplanes we will take for more richness.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the aeroplane point P. For more richness, you can take rocket also. Understood? Space
You
vehicle.
can take universe also.
Yeah, you can take no issue. So this is a position vector of the first aeroplane P. Understood? First aeroplane P. This is the Second aeroplane Q. This aeroplane is going with some speed on an average. This velocity of the aeroplane is something, for example, 300 meters per second. Possible, huh?
No, sir. Really
Possible, right? Why? Because if it is a supersonic plane, means it may travel with 5 times to the speed of the sound also. Speed of the sound in air is 330 meters per second.
going fast.
It can go up to 3 Mach. 3 Mach means what?
3 times speed.
Very good. 1 Mach means
The record is 8.3.
330 meters per second. 3 Mach means 3 into 330.
The
Possible.
record is 8.3.
Yes. Then this another plane Q is going with the speed. One thing I will do for faster calculation, here 500 I will keep. Here I will keep 1000 meters per second I will keep. So my question is very simple and very straight. What is the velocity of the flight P with respect to Q magnitude? How much is the question? That's all.
Negative. 500
No, you did somewhere calculation mistake. Magnitude will never get negative. Five hundred? Yeah, it's perfect.
Is that 500?
500 is incorrect, Ankit. I think
Yeah.
500 root 5. Online student replied 500. I'm student in online. Here we should not waste time, na? Directly we can write what I asked. Magnitude of the velocity of the flight P with respect to Q I asked. So what is the direct expression? We can use that subtraction magnitude, na? Please say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
So I can write here directly magnitude of the velocity of the flight P with respect to Q is equal to how much? Under root of what is the formula? Vp square plus Vq square minus 2Vp Vq into cosine of 90. Have you seen the diagram? Angle between the two vectors, how much? I have given the right angle symbol. So this total 0. So how much? Under root of Vp value how much? 500 whole square plus 1000 whole square, and 100 square I can take common, and root is there. Root of 100 square means 100 will be coming outside. Not understood, huh? And under root of 5 square plus 10 square, 25 plus 125. How much? 25 plus 125, how much?
25.
Sorry, 25 plus 100, how much? 125. 125 means 5 root 5 root 5. So root 125 is nothing but what? 5 root 5. So 5 root 5, what is your answer? 500 root 5 meters per second is your answer. So that flight, we are observing that both flights are traveling with, one is 500 meters per second, other one is 1000 meters per second. But the pilot in the flight P will tell that velocity of the flight q is 500 root 5 meters per second. Huh? You will say no 500 root 5. This we proved no.
500 root 5 minutes. Why not say just 500?
That's because this is on.
That accurate value also is there.
You will tell
500 root 5.
why not
Calculate that, sir, instead of flying.
instead of
Instead of flying the plane, you will calculate that.
casual I said right?
Sir, I have a doubt. Sir.
Please.
Sir, we have a formula, no, sir. VPQ vector is equal to VP vector minus VQ vector. Can we use that, sir? Why we are not using it?
Come again, yaar. I could not understand your.
Sir, like you wrote a formula like VPQ vector is equal to VP vector minus VQ vector. Sir, why are we not using that, sir?
That is vector representation. VP Q. We can write VP vector minus VQ vector. It's a vector formula, vector representation. But see the question. I asked magnitude, na? See the question.
Yes, sir.
Magnitude I asked. So magnitude I asked means you have to use this only. Understood? Huh?
Yes, sir.
So when we have to use, this is your doubt, no? Sir, when we have to use this,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
this is your doubt, na? Based on that also, when we have to take vector format, when we have to take the magnitude format, when we have to take magnitude format, you understood nicely. Now we'll see when we have to use this vector format also I'll explain. Okay. Now so some richness is completed, we will go to somewhat poverty. So bicycle will go. Understood? Understood. Bullock cart is poor. That much. Okay. Bullock cart means is farming, definitely he might have 10 acres of land also. Understood? Okay. Bicycle means is a coolie or a hamali. Understood? Okay. So I will take one frame of reference is the positive x-axis and positive y-axis, and this is the origin, right? Understood? And now one bicyclist P going like this with what speed? Tell me approximately. 10 meters per second he will drive, ride. 1 second, 10 meters he will go. Then there is BMW, not bicycle.
4 meters per second.
4 meters.
5. No, 4. No, sir, that is.
Okay, 2 will keep. Okay, 2 will keep. Is going with what? 2 meters per second, and with vertical is making some example 30 degrees, right?
Yes, sir.
And another very poor bicyclist going like this. Let's say 3 meters per second is going like this. Now my question is, velocity of the cyclist P with respect to Q, how much? Vector, how much? First question. Second question, velocity of the P with respect to Q, magnitude, how much is the question? This you have to do. Doing or not doing is secondary, but compulsory you have to think. Understood? So try.
But sir, get a negative.
You should not talk. Condition. Yeah. You can do, but no confidence. One should have self-confidence. You are doing mistake also, you should do it confidently. Are you understanding? Okay? Then only you can confidently root Second answer, huh? Second answer is root. First answer is root 7, huh? Vector form, no? I think your answer might be second one, root 7. Magnitude. Any supporters are there? Finished, huh? You have to maintain accuracy, students, first, then speed automatically it will come. If you try for speed, you will slip. So initially do little bit slowly, but accurately do. Don't go for speed. Any answers from online? Okay. Shall I?
I got second answer.
2 meter per second, shall I split into y component 2 cosine 30 and x component 2 sin 30 with your kind permission? Permission granted, na? So shall I write velocity of the bicyclist t vector equal to how much? 2 sin 30 into I cap. Say yes or no? 2 sin 30 into I cap means just I cap and 2 cosine 30 into j cap. Say yes or no? So 2 cosine 30 means root 3 by 2 into j cap, na? 2 cancels out. So what is the velocity of the bicyclist P? I cap plus root 3 into j cap. Then what is the velocity of Q? What is the velocity of Q vector equal to? How much? How much? 2 sin 30 value, how much here? 1 by 2 means 1 into I cap only, na? Correct or not? So what is my first question? Velocity of the person P with respect to Q equal to how much here? Velocity of the person P, bicyclist P minus velocity of Q vector only, na? Put the all values. What is velocity of P?
How did you get velocity of this?
It is moving in which direction, right? Only x direction, na?
3 meters.
Huh?
3 meters per second.
Sorry. Thank you, Jiva. Printing mistake. 3 into I cap. Okay, thank you. So velocity of P vector how much? I cap plus root 3 into j cap and minus velocity of Q how much? 3 into I cap. Here 1 minus 3 means what? This 1 minus 3 how much? Minus 2 into I cap plus root 3 into j cap. So this is the first answer. Understood? I hope you understood when we have to use the vector form and when we have to use the magnitude form. Then anyway, how to find magnitude? Here only. Velocity of P with respect to Q magnitude how much? Why? No, already over. 2 minutes. How much? Minus 2 whole power 2 plus how much? Root 3 whole power 2. So that is how much? 4 plus 3. So root 7. Jiva, I think said already. Very good. Dharani and Shiva. Shiva Raj very long. Okay. Shiva will follow. Enough, no? Okay, students. So tomorrow we'll talk Subtraction over addition over what's up next?
Multiplication.
Multiplication tomorrow we'll see. Now take 5 minutes break. Okay. Thank you.